Let's bring him in now. Former mixed martial arts star, the one, the only, DADA 5000. How are you, man?
Man, I'm blessed. It's a big blessing just to be alive, man, to be here with the great folks doing this interview, man. I'm blessed.
For sure. Thanks for joining us. And last time we saw you in the cage, you messed around and had a heart attack. You messed around and tapped out on life. You were pronounced dead at one point, man. How you feeling now?
Yes. I mean, I'm feeling a lot better. I would say this, with myself and being the individual that I am, I practice certain things in the backyard. Don't give up, dig down deep. So when I tell these guys that I'm mentoring this, when I get out there on one of the biggest stages, I can't do nothing other than what I tell them not to do, right? And that's the dig, and that's not the quit, and the dig down deep. And I think that, with me having 2 heart attacks, kidneys, going out and so forth like that, I think that, I represent the true definition of a warrior. Because, backing down, giving up, surrendering is not even inside the equation. I gave it everything I had, and with Dog Fight 2, and I'm just going to plug this really quick, Dog Fight 2, the truth will come out. It's going to be shocking.
Okay, all right, so Dog Fight 2, we'll see the truth.
Yes. Dog Fight 2 is going to shed a lot of light on the bigger stages. I would say this, if I was going to have 2 heart attacks, if I was going to have kidney failure, I would have did it in training. Why did it wait to happen to me that night? I trained harder than that fight was. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, when you're dealing, with politics, when you're dealing with, Vegas, when you're dealing with all type of entities, you have to, understand that a lot of things come with that type of stuff like that. And I would say this, my situation was definitely not natural.
Okay. So you passed the physical before the fight, and so you were seemingly healthy going into this fight, right?
I was extremely healthy. Man, I didn't start feeling woozy until I got inside the dressing room at the arena. And I started consuming the water that they was giving me back then. Again, a lot of people, they have their speculations about, certain things. But for myself, I know me, I was talking crap all the way up to that dang on fight. And I was supposed to win that fight. And even with Kimbo's fight, and we all know that he tested positive for steroids, him and another individual, which is a good friend of mine, both tested positive. It's like, to beat me, you got to cheat me. So at the end of the day, what happened to me needed to happen. Because we all know that Kimbo's fights, he had the experience, he had the skill, he had the technique. I give him that. No argument there. However, I was bigger, I was stronger, I hit harder, and I was smarter. And I literally won the fight, at the weigh-in and in the press conference. He was already broken going into that. And when I say the truth will come, excuse me?
You were in his head.
Yes, definitely. Because I was not, listen, the only person that could truly defeat one of us is one of us.
All right.
See, we come from a special place, P-Line, Florida, and I give Kimbo Slices credit because he originally put P-Line on the map. I just took it a step further because I opened it up and made it into a business, So, I say this again, if it wasn't for Kimbo Slices, it wouldn't be no DADA 5000. But what I did was, I reinvented myself time and time again. To the point that, this fight was inevitable and it had to happen because they could no longer further overlook me. I became very big with Dog Fight, the movie on Netflix, which is also, one of Fusion's biggest projects that they took on, and it's also, on Oxygen and Oz. So Dog Fight is everywhere, and I was making noise way before the fight, so it's like, I didn't just make it about me, it was never about me in the backyard. I always, put other individuals in the position, to shine, and I would have defeated Kimbo, and I wouldn't have cared about coming back to MMA, period. Because I didn't take the fight, to say, hey, I'm a legitimate mixed martial artist. I took the fight because I know I could have beat him, and because of the things that, the world didn't know that he was doing off camera to myself and about my organization. You know, from calling the cops to talking bad in the papers. But whoa, this was the same method that you took to get here. Now you want to close the door because you made it? You don't want no one else to come through? You know? Look, I suffered 2 heart attacks, kidney failure. I went there and I said, I'm going to beat this dude up on a Friday. I'll be back in Miami to celebrate on a Saturday. I was in the hospital for damn near a month. I didn't leave Houston until the next month sometime. I was in a boat. From life support to you name it. I was pronounced dead twice. The doctors gave up on me. But God didn't. I give God all the glory. You know?
Sure.
I give God all the glory. And isn't it ironic that the same illness that I suffered with was the same illness that took him out not even 3 months later. You know? It's just crazy how this whole business works. Here today and gone tomorrow. You know? And I really feel like, but
Go ahead.
no, I really feel like, you know, for me to come back, I have a divine purpose. You know, I have a lot of work still to do, you know, and I'm very much I'm very much looking forward, you know, to you know, taking on the future and doing some big things with me, my company, BYB, Backyard Brawls Extreme Fighting Series. We have dog fights coming out. We have a couple movies that's coming out in AMC theaters. A couple reality shows that's going to be coming out worldwide, you know, in 2017. So sky's the limit at this point.
So what you're saying, and I know you say you're going to tell more in Dogfight 2, but you're kind of insinuating that possibly you were poisoned on some level?
Man, listen, I'm not insinuating. You know what I'm saying? Something in the water was definitely not for me. I came there to compete. Kimbo's been there before. This is my first time being on the level of that magazine, right? But I've been on various other levels, you know, because I already was prominent. I already was a figure. I already was known to millions of individuals worldwide prior to me coming to Bellator, right? So it's like when I signed, I took on certain things, and they seen there was no fear inside me. And what I'm saying is what happened to me. Who did it? You know, that remains to be seen. But for me to pass the drug test, right? And the drug test, they came back. They took urine and so forth from me 30 minutes before I went out in the fight. They came back and said he was good. They also did the same thing to Kimbo's fight. So at the end of the day, if they came back and told me I was good, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they told them something else. But that remains, you know what I'm saying, to be, you know, something that production has to deal with, because I do understand that the fight was that big. But, you know what I'm saying, if I was in my right mind, I was too massive. Me even being under the influence, being drugged, and him being on steroids, you know, I really feel like it was designed for Kimbo Slice to come out on steroids and just destroy me in the front of the world and make me in the backyard movement look like a laughing joke.
Okay.
It didn't look like that. I still lasted to the 3rd round. You got the skill, you had the technique, you had the experience. Your hands were supposed to be legitimately better than mine. I was willing to come out and duke it out with that dude. I didn't take him to the ground many times. When we went to the ground, he took me to the ground. But he's the boxing beast. I was willing to get out there and trade hands with you.
For sure.
But when I rushed him back to the cage, survival mode kicked in, and he took me down. See, people say certain things instead of getting in trouble. Then they, you know what I'm saying, they always go to survival mode and do exactly what they said they would not do. You know, but, you know, at the end of the day, still, there was a couple shots in that fight that I could have taken him out. But I was dying. My kidneys went out in the 1st round.
You just couldn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, my kidneys went out in the 1st round. I fought that fight from the 1st round to the 3rd until I collapsed with no kidneys. My kidneys was not functioning. And because my kidneys went down, the level of potassium that was in my body, you know, it caused me to have those heart attacks.
Wow.
You know, and would you believe that I was leading on the scorecards? Kimbo Slice would have not beaten me in that fight. And then even the doctors at the hospital wanted to know. He didn't take a hit. What made him go down? They did a blood toxicology on me where they butchered my right leg. You know what I'm saying? About the groin area, to find out what happened to this dude. Then they found out, oh yeah, he's had the heart attack because of the amount of potassium that was inside of his body. And I'm sitting back, and again, it's been 10 months, right, since the fight.
Yep.
I didn't make no commotion with Bellator. I didn't make no commotion with Kimbo then on his cap. You know what I'm saying? I just continued living life and just focused on getting better. Everybody they knew when they looked inside my eyes, they knew that something was wrong.
Okay.
The fight was already over when I walked out of the dressing room. I got
based
pictures
off of what you're saying.
with me. Huh?
No, based off what you're saying, yes, that is true.
Yeah, listen, I got pictures of me standing inside the ring before the bell even went ding, ding. You look inside my eyes. It's like, whoa, what is this guy on? Listen, I'm not doing this for me anymore. I'm doing this as an advocate for the youth.
Okay.
For the young kids out there, that, 14, 15 years old. And they say, hey, the next, 6, 7 years from now, I'm going to be the next UFC or Bellator champion. You know what I'm saying? No, you're not. Unless you got guys like this who's going to cut your legs and your career right from underneath you. Should be a noble sport. But the truth of the matter is this. Politics plays a big part. MMA is killing boxing. Boxing used to be the golden rules. Now it's MMA. So if it's not Mayweather fighting, who's really betting on boxing? Everybody's betting on your Conor McGregor, and the young lady that's coming back to UFC. Yes. So it's like, these are your leaders. These are the ones that keep the biggest sports books going. Truth be told, that I found out Kimbo Slice, broke records on Bellator and Spikes. I'm going to make a comeback. 2017.
So you're not done?
I'm not done because I didn't like how this one ended up. Okay. I was supposed to win this. This was not fair. You know what I'm saying? My potassium was spiked in my body levels. It was impossible for my body to produce that amount of potassium.
Well, here's the next
logical question. If I was going to have a heart attack, go ahead.
Here's the next logical question. If you felt like you were poisoned, why do you want to return to Bellator?
Well, I didn't say Bellator.
Okay.
I didn't say Bellator. See, I'm at a status that with or without Bellator, what I'm saying? I have black star power. I didn't get there by being dumb, naive, or stupid. Right? To the point that, I fought twice successfully. Even though they were not on a grand scale as Bellator. You know what I'm saying? But I was a legitimate guy. I just happen to wear many, many hats. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what organization, I come back to. When I come back, we're going to sell it out, and it's going to do numbers. Everybody's going to want to see what DADA 5000 is going to do. Hey, the last time he was in the ring, he had 2 heart attacks. He died. His kidneys went out. He was pronounced over and done with. Now he's back. Let's see what he's going to do. Despite if it's the supporters or the haters or the legitimate guys that just love the sport, everybody's going to tune in. Especially when Dog Fight 2 dropped, when these projects that we're working on drop, we're working on some other stuff with BYB, doing more shows. It's like with or without an organization, it does not make me, it doesn't define who I am, because I have my own organization. I can fight on my own card. I just did not like how this one ended up. So I said, a lot of people say, hey, Dada, you don't need to fight. You have a lot of things going on. This is something that I just want to do, something that's just geared to myself, that I just want to, get out there and do. I mean, I should be 3-0. Okay, well, yeah, Kimbo was convicted of taking steroids. So I'm still undefeated. But at the end of the day, even when he was convicted, they gave him a $5,000 fine, a slap on the wrist. And prior to him dying, they still had him on the next card in London. It's like, what type of punishment is that?
It's not.
This dude, exactly. I'm sitting back and I'm like, come on, man. Is this what we have to look forward to with sports and entertainment?
So let me ask you this. You talked about dying, and you crossed over. Did you cross over? You crossed over?
Man, when I went out, it's so interesting that you asked me, about that. When I went out, I had a heart attack inside the fight, right? When I hit the floor on that mat, my heart had already stopped beating. My eyes was in the back of my head. I was done. I was dead weight in that ring, And it's like, truth be told, I'm standing. I can hear. It's almost like I'm trapped between two worlds, right? So it's like I can hear, but it's like a dense sound, And it was just so different. It was so different, like I was literally trapped between two worlds, And I was like that, man. My heart went out for 5 minutes, then it came back, and then it went out again for another 8 minutes, while they were working on me, And I guess, I give God all the glory. It was just not my time, because I'm in the middle of two dimensions, but it's like I couldn't move forward. And even though, I was already out of it, if I could have moved forward, I would have went forward. But it wasn't my time.
So let me ask you
this. And I thank God, that it wasn't.
Let me ask you this. So obviously you said you crossed over. And I know you're a spiritual guy. Did you see a heaven? Did you see a hell? Did you see any of that?
No. This is it. I was just inside the middle of a realm, and they call that purgatory, right? When you have souls that's trapped, in the middle of heaven and hell. That's why you have, all type of spirits that still roam in the earth. And people say haunted houses, this, that, and the third. That's what they call, purgatory. And because, my situation happened like that, I think that it was more to it, but I didn't stick around, to experience it, but I was inside of a dense environment, that it's like you know what's going on, but you're just no longer a part of it.
Gotcha. We're talking to Dada 5000. So let me ask you this now. Obviously you're going to make the comeback, and that's a great thing. You're still doing big things with BYB. What's been going on with BYB?
Well, we've been really, strategizing. Me, my partners, Mike Vasquez, Pepe, Jose Cyrus, and 5000 on making BYB into, a sporting, arena that individuals can come and compete at the best level that they can actually, compete at. And I think that we're doing a good job right now. We're just getting up towards 2007. We're going to finish our dog fight in the first quarter of 2007, and we're looking to do at least 5 to 6 events in 2017 on the national level, with being aired, just like Spike airs Bellator and FX1 airs UFC.
Okay. So watching Dogfight, obviously Dogfight was a very good documentary, man. Very good. You saw some guys in there. One was Tree, that, seeing him die and the way he died. That was tough to see, man. I don't know the guy, but that was tough to see. But how did that affect you?
Well, Tree was more than just a fighter. Tree was more or less like, family in a sense. And he was a good guy that's going way too soon. The only thing I have to hold on to is the memories. Other people, they got to know Tree because of his role inside the documentary. But I know him, as an individual. He used to come and visit me. He used to stay at the house periodically. He used to come visit me every Christmas, every Thanksgiving. He would come and sit up, for like hours with me. And it's so ironic because, days later, he's in a fight for his life. And he would lose that fight. And people would say, well, dang, Dada, Tree's your boy. And I say, but she has to also understand, just like you guys understand, that I don't pull no punches. When I say may the best man win, may the best man win. And Tree, you know what I'm saying, he was a stand-up guy. He's truly missed, him and Chauncey, and I would love to have seen him a part of Dogfight too, but he will be there in memory and in spirit.
And Chauncey as well. I mean, another guy who unfortunately passed in that documentary, another tough situation. One thing I've seen, and a common theme in Dogfight, was that you saw individuals coming in and out of prison. And the reality is, because they're coming in and out of prison, they're having a hard time finding opportunity to make money and to get a job because of their record. But how bad is the economy out there, man?
It's rough, man. I mean, I was giving these guys an opportunity because I would rather them come inside my backyard and fight opposed to waiting inside your backyard when you come home to rob you and your family from a hard day's worth of work. These individuals, I can tell you what they have and what they don't have. I can tell you what they have. They have 2 strikes against them. You know what I'm saying? They have a criminal record. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a high school diploma. They don't have a trade. They don't have a skill. They do have their 2 hands. They do have heart. And they do have the will to want to do better. So we give them an opportunity, and they get out there. We've sent a lot of individuals pro, and, individuals came through the backyard because I prided myself on getting corporate America to come out and trade in their suits and ties for baseball hats and tennis shoes and come on down to sunny South Florida, and I think that, we was a big factor in Bruce Leroy, going to the UFC because of the individuals that watched him compete inside my backyard. Lover Renee Martinez had a good run, had a good shot, even, Ponytail, George Masvidal came through, the backyard. I had the opportunity, to speak on his behalf on several occasions. When you look at a lot of other individuals like, Alexis Vila, Chocolate, Ray, Congo, we have a lot of guys, that are decorated MMA guys and are hardcore backyard fighters that come back there because they appreciate the culture. They appreciate the art. We're different. We're the gray area between MMA and boxing. And it is hard, because right now it's Christmas time. You have individuals that don't have $5 to their name, and they're waiting until Dada 5000 put together his next card. And they're training hard to compete, to show the world that they got it, and in hopes that someone can see them for the true talent that they possess, and give them an opportunity to showcase their talents on the biggest stages in America.
We're talking to Dada 5000. So it's still the same backyard as we saw in Dogfight. It's still the same backyard?
Same backyard. Now, boxers and wrestlers, right? Boxers and wrestlers, they've always fought inside the square circle. MMA fighters always fought inside the octagon. We have a $30,000 trigon cage, right? It's a triangular cage. It's inside of our warehouse. One of a kind. We've actually heightened and raised the bar, of expectations and standards, for fighting. MMA and boxing, keep one thing in mind. Before the gloves was on, they were off. So history repeats itself. And I'm just taking it back and reminding these other, sporting, venues of where they originally came from.
For sure. So let me ask you this. I watching the documentary, at the time you said you weren't really making much money from it. How you doing now?
Well, with that being stated, I was always, creative and nifty, and even though I was not making money from the backyard, fightings, I always had a skill or a trade to sustain myself. And, I haven't really gotten to the money yet, because helping my people was first, was necessary. The money was secondary, and it will come. I think that, I am doing, better because, of course, I have projects. I've won 2 Emmys on NBC, right? I've been front page, on several national magazines. We've hit ESPN magazine. We've hit ESPN E60. We've hit ESPN Sports Talk, you know what I'm saying, with Mike and Mike. We've hit, Sports Illustrated. We've hit NBC, CNN. We've hit Maxim, National Geographics. You name it, we've hit it. You cannot name, a sporting, entity out there that, Backyard Fighting and Dada 5000 has not, been on. So we've broke numbers, and we've done things on a scale so massive to the point that the only thing that we could do now is repeat ourselves, and it's only right that we go to this next level with BYB, and take what we're doing to the big screen.
What's the largest crowd you ever had?
Oh, thousands, man. Listen, I did my marketing, based upon who we were doing the show for. Let's say we was doing the show for ESPN 60, right? You know what an iPhone can do to you. It takes good quality pictures and film. So we didn't want, the footage to leak out. So a lot of these crowds, they were selected. The first 200 come through. We let them in. We just wanted to get a feel for the crowd, for the film. Now, if we're doing something almost like a rapper or an MC, we would do the mixtape thing. While you guys are waiting on my album, we're going to drop a mixtape. So I would do certain things in the backyard, and I would invite everybody out. So it didn't matter if the footage got leaked or bootlegged or whatever. That's what I wanted it to do while we work on these other projects. So the biggest crowds was when we did it unrestricted. But, when we respect the host, the individuals that we're doing it for, we want them to be the first ones to put it out. Not individuals that are just coming to film and put it out on YouTube and so forth like that. Then, it contaminates the project and what we're trying to do.
So you said you have Dogfight 2 coming out in 2017. What can we expect in Dogfight 2?
Oh, wow. Explosivity at its best. We're going to take you guys behind the scenes. When I died, the stuff that when the camera went off, our camera stayed on. We're going to show you the gritty part of business, and it's going to be, put it like this, right? Dogfight 1 was amazing. Dogfight 2 is going to be unmatched. I don't think I got a Dogfight 3 in me because it's going to be super duper hard to I died in Dogfight 2. Kimbo died in Dogfight 2. Okay. And God forbid whoever else may die, before this doc is done. First quarter of this upcoming year. So it's like, death was on 1 and death was on 2. If it's a 3, wow. I'm tired of seeing people die,
For sure. So we saw in Dogfight 1, people trying to shut it down. The authorities trying to shut it down. How's that going?
Well, I'm P. Ryan's favorite son. They love me. Right now I think I've gotten too big. So it'll be best if they just let me do what it is that I'm going to do. Because if you wanted to stop me, you should have stopped me years ago. Now I have, giant partners behind me, and what I was doing was for the greater good, of humanity. It says violence. This is not violence. This is an alternative towards violence. And I've proven that. So I've changed the perception of how, the officials and how the political points of views, see Dada 5000 and Backyard Fighting inside the Southwest Miami-Dade County of Miami, Florida.
So at the end of the day, you feel like by you giving them this opportunity, instead of beating somebody else upside the head, and getting arrested and getting locked up, this is their avenue, their way out.
Yep, even for those that don't want to go pro, I would rather them be a man for once and be able to pay a bill, and contribute to their household, and that's what we do. These guys, I'm not just giving them an opportunity to compete, but I'm also paying these guys, to come out, and it's different wages, depending on the individual. If they're a first-timer or if they've been back there for quite some time and they built a fan base and a record for themselves, You know, so I mean, it was beneficial. Other than that, if the participants didn't see, you know what I'm saying, no light at the end of the tunnel, they wouldn't be coming back. They wouldn't be signing up by the boatloads right now for when we hold our next show.
So I saw in the documentary the purse was about $200 for the winner. What, $50 for just participating? Has the purses went up?
Yeah, well, you got to look at it. You know, those were for different events. You know,
Okay.
I would do 4 to win, 1 to lose. You know, 3 to win, 1 to lose. You know, 2 to win, 50 to lose, depending on the project. You know, but you've had guys out there that make thousands of dollars. You know,
Okay.
again, depending on the project. But you know, what they make and what I gave them extra was something totally different. Like they probably made $400, but you know I probably gave them an extra $200 because you know they did good. They showed showmanship. You know they were gentlemen about it. They gave the other guy a hand up. They gave. Why do you think these guys show love and they hug each other after these brutal fights? You know because it's business. You know, so it's like
No
we
doubt.
say one thing, but I always give them something else because I appreciate them coming out, leaving it all on the line.
We're talking to Dada 5000. I got to ask you this. We look at the Kimbo Slice situation. We look at the possibilities of whether it's Bellator or whether it's Kimbo Slice who may have poisoned you. But we all know that Kimbo has died. He has passed on. And I know you guys have had your differences. But how do you remember Kimbo Slice?
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I got a lot. I have a lot of love and respect for that dude. I'm gonna tell you something. This is what the world don't know. That we've sat out in hotel rooms, many. We went on the road numerous times, and me and him was in the same hotel room, you know, together. So he was looking at a magazine one time, you know, and he was like, man, this ain't fair. You know, he just took him a shower. He came out the hotel room, you know what I'm saying? You know, and, he had on his tank top, his trousers, and sat down, and he was looking at, you know what I'm saying, the magazine. You know, and he said, man, this is not fair. I said, what you talking about? He said, man, they want me to fight Brock Lesnar, but they compare me, you know what I'm saying, to Brock Lesnar, you know what I'm saying, this, that, or third. That was when he first came out, you know what I'm saying, with, he just signed on with Gary Shaw, with Elite XC, right? And I was like, listen, you're a phenomenon. Everybody's out for you. You know, you're making $400,000 to $500,000 per fight, especially with marketing and sponsorships and so forth. These guys feel like you're not a real MMA fighter. You know, they feel like, you know, they want to stop this. They want to stop this Kimbo hype train. You know, and we've held hundreds of conversations. He knew. If nobody else knew, he knew. Dada is a sharp dude. He knew what he was up against. And he did what they feel they needed to do to slow me down. Listen, on my word, I would have came inside that ring 100%. You know, we always knew Kimbo Slice, you know, had a problem with his endurance, with going the distance. I knew that. I was running on the treadmill, you know what I'm saying, for 45 minutes at 6.5, 7.0 for 45 minutes. I knew that I was going to come inside there and outlast him. You know, you go back and to you and your listeners, your fans, go back and watch my eyes in that fight. I've had doctors email me. I've had hundreds of thousands of emails, you know what I'm saying, come through. Like, bro, what were you on? What were you on? You know? And I'm sitting back and I'm like, you know, it is what it is, but how I look at Kimbo is like, it's not his fault. You know why I say it's not his fault? Because once you get on a level of that magnitude, you no longer make the decisions for yourself. Those that pay you make the decisions for yourself. You just go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he was looking at me, man, when I was in that ring. And I seen a genuine smile. And it wasn't a smile of hate. It wasn't a smile of anger. it was a smile of concern. Like, what the hell have I gotten myself into? But he knew what was already on his side, you know. And I gave the best fight that I could under the conditions and the circumstances. I gave up my life before I quit.
Right.
And this knockout artist, he couldn't knock me out. He couldn't even knock me down. And he's been in the game for 10 years. I come back, right mind. Listen, number one, I'm not eating anything. All my food, you know what I'm saying, I'll provide it. I'm not buying anything from the hotels. I'm not eating anything from the hotel. I'm not consuming none of that. I would destroy everybody that put their name on that dotted line when I come back. I'm too big. I'm too powerful. I'm too smart. They wrote me off. They said, "Yo, if he comes back, he's gonna be slow. He's not gonna have the motor skills." Listen, I came back just as sharp, if not as sharper. You know, and I'm on the road. You know what I'm saying? To getting back. You know what I'm saying? To me, I'm not gonna sit there and say it was easy. You know, because I was messed up, man.
So you're 100% now?
No, I'm not 100%. You know, but I'm a lot better than what I was because of my will and God's grace, you know, and me pushing myself every day. You know, I'm still following up, you know what I'm saying, with doctors. Fractured my left frontal lobe, you know, following up with a kidney specialist, you know, with my cardiologist, with my eye doctors, and so forth like that. So I have to first get checked off, you know, by those individuals, you know. But I have high hopes that, you know what I'm saying, I would make a recovery, if not full, good enough that the doctors would not have an issue or concern with me, you know, coming back out to compete again on any level. But, you know, I like where I'm at right now based upon where I was, you know, a few months ago.
So fans, if you want to find out all the great information about this man, Dada 5000, hit him up on Twitter at the real Dada 5000. Go to his website, Dada5000.com. Also go to BYBExtreme.com and support all the great things going on with this man, Dada 5000.
Always, I appreciate you guys having me on. And I would say that, you know, you can also follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. You know, I don't do this for me. I do this for the peoples. I do this for the fans, you know. And I just want to say, you know, stay in tune with the movement. I'm just getting started. I've been in the game 10 years, you know, and I reinvented myself, you know what I'm saying, to be more, you know, on a one-on-one, you know what I'm saying, with these new improved times. And we're going to shock the world with Dogfight 2. You know what I'm saying? The reality shows, they're coming. And I really feel like, you know, man, the world better be ready because Dada 5000, BYB, you know, Extreme Fighting Series is someone, you know what I'm saying, to be reckoned with in the future. I also want to say this, you know, to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan said something, you know what I'm saying, about me, you know, during the fight, you know. And I was messed up, of course. But, you know, when I got better, I heard of it, you know, and I was not pleased of it. You know, and I want to say this to Joe. You know, Joe, people call you a racist because of those remarks. I don't call you a racist, you know, because your profession, you know what I'm saying, by nature, you're a comedian. You're a stand-up comedian. But I don't think at that point in time it was a time to be funny. You know, I think if it would have been me or anybody else, you know, it would have been, you know, severe backlash, you know what I'm saying, to pay. Tim Hardaway, you know, spoke out about homosexuals and he lost everything. You know, if I say something about tortilla chips, you know, and Mexicans and so forth like that, that right there, you know what I'm saying, could be a racist statement because you're associating that race with the foods that they eat. So Joe Rogan, of course, stated something that Dada 5000 had too much fried chicken, watermelon, and grape sodas, you know what I'm saying, in his blood, right? And I don't know what Joe Rogan mean by that. So, Joe Rogan, I would love, you know what I'm saying, to do an interview with you because I would want, you know what I'm saying, to find out what did you mean, you know what I'm saying, by too much fried chicken, watermelon, and grape soda, Joe. I'm being straight up with you. That's what it is.
Right.
So if you got
It's
hot
offensive.
said, yes, you know what I'm saying? It's just like associating, you know, certain foods with Asians and Jamaicans and Haitians, like Haitians and cats. Like they said, Haitians eat cats. You know, it's not right. But certain people, they feel like they can get away with certain things because of their status, you know. But I was definitely not pleased, you know what I'm saying, with that one. Neither was, you know what I'm saying, my constituents and my family and friends, you know. But I'm getting bigger and better by the day. And, you know, I'm just ready, you know what I'm saying, to get back to being productive, you know what I'm saying, and do what I do best.
Sounds good, man. So, absolute pleasure talking to you. Nothing but the best of luck moving forward. Let's do it again.
Hey, sounds good. Thank you guys for having me. $5 305 BYB Backyard Brawls, 305 P Ryan, Florida, Team 5000. We're in the building.
Take care, man. Merry Christmas.
You too, man.